We can also use the graphing calculator to help us solve a compound inequality. The limitations are, if we're going to do it geometrically, is to do it using Calc intersect, because there are now 3 parts to this. So we can't just move everything to one side of an inequality because there are multiple inequalities here. So what we're going to do is we're going to let y, oh, that's a highlighter, so that's not super helpful. So we're going to let y1 equal the left-hand side, y2 equal the middle part, so the absolute value of 3x plus 4, and y3 now, so now there's 3 parts of it, is going to be 10, and then we're going to add that we are interested in where y1 is less than y2, oh, that's a 4, y2, which is less than or equal to y3. So first of all, I'm going to have to graph this. There's a couple of things I can tell already. Because one of the y functions, the y3 is 10, most likely if I do zoom standard, it won't show. It'll be the top. It might be out of picture. So I know I'm going to be adjusting the window before I even start. But let's get to that part first. So we're going to go into the function here. Let me see if we can get that up and running. I'm going to go into y is equal to, I'm going to clear out, I don't need these, but I'm going to clear these fellas out here, all 3 of them. I'm going to put 3 new ones, the y1, which was 2 in our case, the y2, which was the absolute value, math, go into numbers, choice 1, it's going to be 3x plus 4, enter, and then y3 is 10. So if I do this normal zoom 6, there's my y1. It draws y2 second, and then y3. It's just up there, but it's not really. I would like to have some more space up there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the window a little bit. I'm maybe going to go up to, like, let's say y is 15. And I may also move it down a little bit. So maybe if I did the y min be -5, because I don't need to look at anything below that. So 5. Delete the 0. Oh, whoops. -5. And I want to go my y max up to 15. I think that's reasonable. And then hit graph. What I can see here is that there are 4 intersections that I need. And let's think about the meaning of this. This one here that it drew first was y1. Then we have the absolute value is my y2, and this is my y3. I'm looking for where y2 falls in between y1 and y3. So basically, I'm looking for the x values where this segment is, because that's between the 2, and this segment, because that's between the 2. That's what it is a between the statements. I'm looking for stuff that's in between here. Now, these 2, if I'm trying to find the intersection and write on the number line when I draw this, it's very fiddly. They're very close together. So I actually think I'm going to go in and change the window to go from, let's say, -6 for x and positive, like, let's say 4 maybe. Let's see what happens when I graph. All right, so it's a little more, and all 4 intersections are there. So I adjusted the window a little bit, so it's a little bit easier for me to see. Then I'm going to go into and draw my picture. And this is where, again, it's super important that you draw the scale on this, that I changed the window. So look, I have my x is down further, a little bit further down here, and my y-axis is over here a little bit. Then I have, it kind of goes like this. Up here a bit, like that. And then 2 lines, there's one here and another one here, like that. I don't know if I drew that the best, but I'm close enough that I'm happy with that. So I'm going to go in, now I can't remember what window I used, so I'm going to go in and look again on my window. Okay, -4 to 4 on my x-axis. I'm going to write that down, negative, what was it? No, I said -6 to 4. Whoops. That's in the wrong spot. Hang on. So, -6 to 4, and -5 to 15 for the y-axis. So it should look kind of like that. Now, there's so many lines. Maybe if I drew, I'm going to draw over the absolute value and my 2 horizontal lines with a different color just so I can tell the difference. And the interpretation, essentially, I am interested in this chunk there and this chunk there because that is where y2 falls in between y1 and y3. This down here is y1 and this up here is y3. So I want the stuff that's in between there. So that means I need to find this point here. I need to find that point there, this point here, and this point here. Y3 is up at the 10, I can see are going to have to be filled in, whatever those points are. And because it's less than or equal to on that side, and on the other side, it's open circles here and here. This was closed. And it's going to be these x values. And don't forget, you have to draw it on the x-axis when it's an inequality in my solution set. Okay, so let's find all of the order pairs. So looking at that, I'm going to have to do calc intersect. So calc intersect is choice number 5. And now this is where we have to pay attention up here in the left-hand side. It's going to say y1. You're going to hit enter. And then we want to find the intersection of y1 with y2. If I wanted it with y3, which I don't, but you can use the arrow up and down key. Notice up here in the left-hand corner, it changes what functions. You have to pay attention to that. I want y1 intersecting with y2, so that, and then hit enter. And I don't want to guess, just enter. Oh, look, it's going to be over here, the order pair, -2 thirds, comma, and you can check math with that. You can check using the fraction, finding the fraction button, but it's -2 thirds too. So that little piece there is -2 thirds. We found that piece. Then we go back and find the other intersection with y1 and y2. That's the one on the left. Do the same thing. Calc intersect, choice number 5. Make sure you're closer to the intersection you want to find. So I'm moving to the left, and then enter, enter, enter. That's -2, comma 2. So now we've found the other one. I'm going to record that on my picture. I put the order pair by the point, and I carried down the x underneath. And then we're going to find the other set up at the top. Let's do calc intersect. But now I have to pay attention because I don't want to find the intersection of 1 with something. So I'm going to use the arrow key down. Now it's saying y2. Yes, I want to find the intersection of y2 with, and then you see it says y3. And you can use the arrow up and down key to find the ones you want. Enter. I don't want to guess, just tell me. All right, so that's up there is -4 2 thirds, -4 2 thirds, comma 10. Ooh, that does not look like -4 2 thirds. -4 2 thirds. And if you wanted to, you can either convert or just as a review, look right now, it's stored as, X is stored as that. So if I go to the home screen and hit X, math, choice number 1, enter, it'll convert it to a fraction. So -14 thirds, comma, 10 is going to be that order pair. So that's -14 thirds. That's the exact value. It's not rounded. If I don't say to round, do not give me a decimal. I will not accept that. I'll mark you wrong. Don't write negative 4.666667, even though that's where you calculated that it can only round. So I've given you an option of doing something else. So that's what you need to do. And then you calc intersect again. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing here. Calc intersect again, choice number 5. Remember, first of all, you don't want to use y1. It's y2. Remember to be closer to the intersection you want. So I got to move that over to the right. So I'm closer to the one on the right. I'm just holding down the right hand button. That's closer. And y3 and enter. That's going to be a 2, 10. So I can transfer down the 2. So now it looks like this. And then I have the solution set on the x-axis. It was from negative 14 thirds to negative 2, inclusive of negative 14 thirds, union negative 2 thirds to 2, inclusive of the 2. And if I did set builder x such that x is, oh, I did that wrong. Whoopsies. It's a between this statement, right? So negative 14 thirds is less than or equal to x, which is less than negative 2. Write the word or. Do not use a comma. Do not use a union symbol. Negative 2 thirds is less than x, which is less than or equal to 2. All right, now I want you to use another method that I've taught you the other day and do this here on the other side. I'm going to pause the video, click pause right now, try it, and then check the answer. So go up and hit, or down and hit pause, and then once you hit play again, the answer should be. Okay, so I chose to use the conceptual method. You could have used the hybrid or the algebra. Please, I hope you did not use the algebraic method, but you should be getting the same answer.